Welcome to the Darkstream. Voxday, voxday.blogspot.com, and of course, Archaven Comics. This is a little bit unusual for the Darkstream. I normally don't do any live streaming during the day, but today is a special day because Alt Hero number 3, Reprisal, is now available on Amazon. It's available for Kindle. It's available for Kindle Unlimited. If you're one of the 2,200 Archaven backers, then you will have already received your Kindle and CBZ versions. Due to the fact that we're on Kindle Select, we always have to send out the stuff to the backers before we put it up on Amazon. So anyhow, we're going to do this on not a regular basis, but we're going to do this occasionally, not necessarily when we launch new comics, but when I'm discussing stuff that's related to comics. You know, it didn't seem to fit in the dev stream. It tended to get mixed up in the regular dark streams, and so I thought, you know, we really need to make sure that it's very clear that when we're talking about comics, you know, whether it's talking about Comicsgate, whether it's talking somebody else's comics campaign, or whether we're talking about our own stuff from Archaven and Dark Legion, I thought that we ought to have our own identifier. So that's what the Darkstream is and what it will be. And now I'm going to give you a little introduction to our new comic. I've actually got a few of them here. We don't have our Alt Hero 3 in print yet, but we do have Alt number 1. You notice this is a gold logo edition. The gold logos are now out. But there will be a gold logo edition of Alt Hero number 3 very soon. So this is I guess you've already seen the cover of it on the initial picture, but that is Rebel, as you know. Now we had to be a little bit careful with Rebel, thanks to Amazon's policy against allowing depictions of the Confederate flag. So you'll notice that on the Kindle editions, as opposed to the backer editions and the print editions, that her outfit is inspired by the Scottish flag, which of course is very similar, but is entirely different and is not the sort of thing that Amazon can complain about. So, you know, their platform, their rules. Not necessarily happy about it, but again, you know, we can't, if we want to be on their platform, we have to play by their rules. So let's get into I'm going to show you a little bit of the issue. This is stuff that you can see anyhow on the Amazon look inside. So I'm not exactly giving anything away here. This is the title page, and that's the headquarters of the Superhuman Protective Council. That is run by the United Nations. This will become clear later in the issue, and of course it's very similar to the FBI headquarters, as you can imagine. Apparently they got a deal from the architect or something. And oops, don't want to show that one yet. Let's go to, there we are. So the story opens where the previous one ended. Rebel, Shiloh Summers, has been liberated from the holding facility in Avalon, New Jersey, and they've brought her to see Soulsight, as was implied on the last image of the previous comic. And so she's there with Michael Martell and Dreamforge, which we already knew from the previous issue. And so they explain to her what or why she's there. You know, she's wondering why on earth she's just been driven from Avalon, New Jersey to a suburb called New Brighton, Minnesota. So they explain to her what's going on, and they are like most Yankees, a little bit amused by her southern drawl and by her attitude, especially towards the UN officials that she refers to as damn Yankees. And then Soulsight, this is the first time that we get the chance to see more about Soulsight's powers, but he is checking her out to see if she is a plant. You know, this is something that they have learned to be cautious about. You may recall that in the previous issue, he also had to vet Michael Martell. So this is a standard part of the organization's operation, you know, part of their standard OPSEC. And that's all I'm going to show you from the current issue. If you want to see more, go to Amazon and check it out. We've got a full 24 pages, which you may recall is, I think, as many as 6 pages of story more than you get from DC and Marvel. So, so as you can see from Amazon, people are finding this to be an effective approach. You know, despite the fact that people were saying that the comics were never going to come out, they were saying that if they did come out, no one was going to want them, that people wouldn't be interested in them. But as you can see in our category here, the number 2, the number 3, and the number 4 bestsellers in the category are all alt hero comics. And in fact, 4 of the top 10 are from Arkhaven. Chuck Dixon's Avalon, the last time I checked, was number 9 in the category. And so you know, this is very encouraging, and we really appreciate the strength of the support that we have been getting from not just the original backers, but from the people who have been checking out the series, picking it up, and reading along with it. Now, for a little taste of what is to come, the next issue, as I tried to clarify for the backers, we had a little confusion because I wasn't sure which author or which artist was further ahead, and so I was thinking about going with another one, but we are going to release The War in Paris as issue number 4. It's completely illustrated. They're just finishing up the final inks and colors, and so you can safely anticipate that we'll have Alt Hero number 4 out within a month. And it's going to be a great issue. Cliff Cosmic is drawing it. Arclight Studios is coloring it, and so as positively as people have reviewed the initial comics, and you know, and I'm very heartened to hear that those who are reviewing issue number 3 are saying it's the best one yet. But I do believe that we have room for improvement. I think the stories are going to continue to get more interesting. You know, the artists are really just beginning to figure out who their characters are and how to draw them, and so I think that it's going to be fun to see how it continues to develop. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to introduce The War in Paris here soon. It does look a little. My office does look a little strange in the daylight, doesn't it? But you know, the funny thing is, part of the reason that I called it a Darkstream is, I don't know if you can tell, but there's not a single light in here. So I usually like to work when it's fairly dark. Anyhow, the next thing I want to show you is probably going to be a little bit controversial in the eyes of some, but we talked to the Arkhaven backers about what they wanted to see, what they're interested in seeing us do, and how they're interested in seeing us continue to expand. You can always create more heroes. You can start spinning off individual heroes and that sort of thing. And we probably will do those things in time. It would be nice to have a dynamique-focused comic. We might want to do a Captain Europa or a Michael Martel-focused comic at some point in time. But in the meantime, before we do that, I think I'd like to let the story grow organically and let the story expand naturally. But with all the interest and all the discussion that's been taking place around who or what is Q, we decided that that was actually potentially the most interesting area to explore. So what we're looking at doing is our next Arkhaven crowdfunding campaign is very likely going to be Alt Hero Q. And we're putting together the team right now. Chuck Dixon and I are working on the story. And from what we understand from the backers and the supporters, this is something that people really would like us to do. And so we'll see how it goes. We're going to set a more aggressive target for it, because if there's not sufficient interest in it, then it doesn't make any sense to do it. We should just keep doing what we're doing. But there's only one way to find out, and that's the beauty of crowdfunding campaigns, is that it allows you to easily verify what sort of interest in there. We had no idea that there was as much interest in Alt Hero as there turned out to be. We have no idea. Well, I shouldn't say we have no idea. We have reason to believe that there is a fair amount of interest in Q and in telling that story. And so we're going to proceed to find out in a few weeks here. So if this is something that you're interested in supporting, please spread the word and let us know, if this is the kind of thing that is of interest. So anyhow, to get back to the subject, Alt Hero number 3, Reprisal, is now available on Kindle and Kindle Unlimited, and so check it out when you get the chance. I'll take a couple questions now, as long as we're here. Will Q be a character, or will he be the mystery to be solved? Q will be a character. We're looking at the story from the inside, and so it's not going to be. It's set in the world of Alt Hero, so it's not going to be a. It's not going to be a direct analogy. It's not going to be the actual story of the real Q per se, but it is going to be an analogy because we think that this is a more effective way of addressing a situation where frankly nobody knows the truth. Plus, it gives us a little bit more leeway for storytelling. Could you give us a link to the crowdfunding site for Alt Hero Q? Not yet. We haven't set it up yet. When we do, I will be doing a ARC stream. We will announce it, and frankly, you'll probably hear about it from all the people trying to make fun of it and saying and mocking it and so forth. on Twitter and Facebook. I mean, you know, they're now they're mostly in the ignoring phase, which is fine, but there are certain things that they just can't stop doing that. So, are you eventually planning to get rid of the airbrushed look, or maybe that's too expensive? I don't. Are you talking? If you're talking about the coloring style, no. I don't. We like that. You know, this is the style that we've chosen. We have no liking whatsoever for that sort of flat, muddy coloring style that is presently in vogue at Marvel and DC. Now, we may have some series that will do that, but you know, this is the look that we've chosen, and frankly, the fact that they're selling so well, I think it tends to indicate that there is a real desire for getting back to that coloring. You know, what we're doing is you know, it's not really old school, but it's definitely prior to the current style of flat, more muted coloring. So I personally like the more vibrant stuff. So anyhow, thanks for tuning in. This has been the inaugural art stream, and let's see here. Also, I forgot to mention this. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, this is our Captain Europa shirt. We actually have a number of Archaven and Alt Hero related t-shirts that are now available at Crypto Fashion. So I quite like this one myself, the Captain Europa. So the funny thing is, you always get like positive responses from SJWs who see it. So clearly they have no idea what it stands for. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the Darkstream tonight. Have a good morning.